Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Lorenzo Vallone on the line, and he's Managing Director over at Arte Logica. Lorenzo, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, and I'm excited to get into today's topic, so talking about a new type of leadership. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Arte Logica. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity to chat with you. Arte Logica is really sort of it's a new mission for me that's about to launch. I've spent about 25 years in the digital innovation and transformation space, working across a lot of industries. And what I found over time is that the projects that really meant the most to me, that I really valued, were the ones that had a social impact of some kind, whether it was working in education or environment or social justice. Those areas really resonated with me. And what I've been able to connect is the fact that companies today, just based on the condition of the world that we're in, we're experiencing it right now as we speak, we really need to rethink how businesses fundamentally operate and really try to figure out how to balance profitability, entrepreneurship with people and planet. And so I launched Arte Logica because really the two words mean art and logic. I think of them as creativity and business process, as technology and art sort of fusing together to be able to look at companies from a different angle and really set a new course and a new trajectory for them.
And so what do you think this new type of leadership or these new type of leaders need to be thinking about when they're as we move forward?
Yeah, so really what they're thinking about is how to bring all of the experience that they've gained over the years working, many of them across very specialized industries with different expertise, different areas of interest, and really sort of thinking about how they can help to bring forth new technology that can help companies become more efficient, more profitable, more sustainable, and at the same time really make the mission of those organizations highly focused on people, what I call people and planet. And really it depends on every organization. It could mean everything from, for example, what Tom's is doing with shoes, in terms of giving a pair for every pair that someone buys. And it could be, fundamental, like what the Gates Foundation has done in terms of investing money and really doing it for the betterment of the world. So it just depends on the organization, but the idea is that going forward, companies, in order to connect with the millennials and the Gen Zs, are going to have to think about this and really make it a strategic imperative. And so my goal is to bring together, I call it a decentralized group of consultants who all have their background and their stories, and really bring them together in a collaborative fashion to help companies achieve this new way of thinking.
And so where do you think some of the and I know this is going to vary from company to company and obviously size of company, all these other things, but what do you think are some of the low-hanging fruit, like opportunity areas that companies can think about like today?
Yeah, probably the lowest areas. The easiest opportunities are just simply to think about their business operations and how that impacts the people and the environment that they do those operations in, whether it's manufacturing clothing, a product, developing new products and services, really keeping at the top of mind and not in sort of an afterthought, the impact that has on people, on environment, on society, and really using that to their advantage and telling the story around that, being able to make that something that really becomes part of their core ethos, which then becomes part of their brand. And I believe that that's what people in the future are going to really connect with.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. And like the example you gave of Tom, so I feel like when Tom's came out, because they're such an old company in the space, they're like, it may not have been like, they really had to be visionaries in creating that double bottom line type of model of the giving and also, growing the company. But I feel like now that same trade-off that they initially paved the way for doesn't necessarily exist as much. So meaning you can have a company focused on people and planet, and you can do these other things and it be actually good for business and not be a trade-off. What do you think about kind of the new environment for this?
I think the environment that we live in today, it's not really a matter of if to do it. It's really more of a question of how to do it. I think consumers are becoming far more aware of what they buy and how they buy, from clothing to how they move around, what the types of cars that they drive. We've seen in the electric vehicle movement. We're really seeing innovation, and this really all comes down to technology, Adam. I mean, this is not an altruistic type of a process. This is really about making businesses more profitable, more sustainable, and more competitive over the long run. So I really just want to make sure that's really a key focus. But at the same time, when you really bring this kind of dedication to people and planet as part of your core mission, I think what naturally happens is you start to bring ideas from within the organizations, from your business partners that you do work with, from your vendors and distributors. And as long as you sort of keep that open mind the way that Tom's did so long ago, and now that model, as you've seen, has been replicated many times. Most recently, for example, Bombas, which makes these really cool socks. Every pair of socks you buy, they give a specially designed pair of socks to kids in need somewhere in the world. And those stories, I think, are amazing, and I think they can really transcend beyond just the advertisement. They really become part of the storyline of what the organization's all about and how it does business going forward.
Absolutely. And so what type of businesses do you plan on working with? So I know there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listen to this show, and they're always looking for new resources, new people to work with to elevate their business. Are there any specific niches or sizes of companies, just so that the right people follow up with you?
Yeah, there really isn't. This is a transformation that's I believe is happening and is going to continue to happen across the board, whether it's an innovative startup or a small and medium-sized business that's growing exponentially and is really trying to figure out how to make sure that this becomes part of their ethos going forward, to established companies and older industries that are under a lot of pressure to reinvent themselves, to transform. Even at the nonprofit and government level, as much good work as they do, there's always opportunities to connect them with for-profit companies, to connect them with entrepreneurs and with other people that they can work together with and develop something even more impactful for people and planet. So it really doesn't matter in terms of the organization, and frankly, there's no sort of magic formula to this. It's really about having an initial conversation, understanding the type of business that it is and its objectives, and then with the group of consultants that I'm already working with, that I'm bringing together, we sort of regroup and we think of strategies, ideas, and put those out to the company to decide what they like, and then have conversations about that.
Man, that's awesome. Well, hey, Lorenzo, it's been great having you on the show today. I can talk to you about this all day long, but we're about out of time. That being said, if somebody wants to follow up and to learn more about Arte Logica, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, the website's going to be launched real soon, artelogica.com. I'm also super interested in following in your footsteps, Adam, and starting a podcast. I found that I really enjoy actually talking to people and interviewing people that have been in the digital space for a long time. They've done some really innovative things, and so I'm looking to do that as well. So, but the primary place would just be at artelogica.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Lorenzo, can't wait till you get that podcast going, and when you do, we're definitely going to bring you back on the show to help promote it. Love to help promote other podcasters and grow the podcasting community. It's just been a lot of fun for myself, and love to definitely give back to the community whenever I can. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're listening to this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments. Love to hear what you're working on and what kind of projects you have going on. And Lorenzo, thanks again for coming on the show.